Kevin Keats thought he was fouled. Took him a while to get back.
Making it difficult. Wow!
Here goes Stanley.
3 out of 6 players to play in the front court.
And Jack White with the steal as Heath got himself in trouble. Now White and Cassius Stanley.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Dibes, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Happy Sunday to everyone here at the Painted Lines YouTube channel. If you guys are new, hit that subscribe button, guys. Before we get started, make sure you give my man Tiago a follow on Twitter. He is at tscabia. Let's talk about Cassius Stanley. This high riser out of Durham marks today's Sixers draft targets. Known for his unworldly dunks, Cassius Stanley made his name at Duke as one of college's most explosive athletes. Now, with 1 foot in the NBA, the expectation is that Stanley will round out his game at the professional level, delivering on a potentially very productive career. Put on the highlight of any Duke game and you will quickly find yourself asking, who is that guy? That guy, my friends, is Cassius Stanley. In today's high-flying game, Stanley is the cream of the crop. This 6'6" guard finished the season with a whopping 33 dunks, headlining a list of only 6 players 6'6" or shorter to achieve the 30 dunk mark on the season. But Stanley is not just a staple at ESPN's top 10. There are nuances and hidden treasures to his game that point to a long career in the NBA. Perhaps most interesting are his lofty ambitions. He aspires one day to become the league's commissioner. But it is within the 4 lines where Stanley will first have to display his savviness. Even with the blessing of a 40-inch vertical, Stanley has severe limitations to his game. Developing this future slam dunk champion into a well-rounded player will not be an overnight task. Understanding Stanley's pros and cons goes a long way into framing this high upside player. Let's talk about Cassius Stanley's strengths. First up, he is elite in transition. Cassius Stanley is quick to fill running lanes and devours space fast. He puts tremendous pressure on defenders to keep pace. As you can see, Cassius Stanley's athleticism is a vital attribute to his game. He is a supreme fast break player. Stanley thrives in a world of chaos. It's easy to see why, as he is often blowing by defenders in the open court. Paired with a talented passer in Trey Jones, Stanley feasted on those opportunities, finishing the season in the 99th percentile for transition points. Let's take a look at Cassius Stanley in transition.
Louisville still leads. And by the way, that foul on Vernon Carey Jr. Just want to keep an eye on. That's number 3 on him. Stanley elevates. Stanley, who's your pick? Who's your pick? Going to company line here? Yeah, you got to stay with the
Strong on the pull-up. Goldwire with numbers. Stanley. Elevate.
That was the shot they wanted. They couldn't get something to win another pass.
Wow. Jones to Stanley again.
Freshman out of Los Angeles. Off the turnover, Stanley.
Matter. Joe Girard able to knock it down.
Don't look now, but it's back to a 2-possession game. And then it's not.
Enough. Kansas and Michigan State. Another turnover here. Here's Stanley. Airborne, yes!
Danny Manning knows how important it is to be able to get him going.
Stanley looking for the quick strike and one as well.
Just because you get the offensive rebound doesn't mean you have to shoot the ball.
Stanley!
Can get Carey to pick up another foul.
Goldwire ahead to Stanley. He attacks the rim. 5-5 record in the Ivy League. Picked 5th preseason. Stanley with the
For 1 to 10 side instead. That won't go.
Struggling shooting the ball.
There's the hit ahead. Cassius Stanley doesn't
Get him to turn his back.
Another turnover. Jones ahead to Stanley.
Thunderbird from the free throw line. Plucked out of the air by Goldwire. Junior from North Cross, Georgia.
The second strength of Cassius Stanley is he thrives in the catch and shoot. This is a high-level catch and shoot scorer with a smooth and balanced shooting form. At Duke, Stanley was involved in a mere 16 pick-and-roll possessions per synergy. As a result, his offensive contributions relied primarily on chaos and movement. As a spot-up shooter this season, he was absolutely lethal, ranking in the 93rd percentile on catch-and-shoot jumpers. Aware of this trait, Coach K deployed him primarily in the corners, where he attempted 50% of his three-pointers. Cassius Stanley shot 43.8% on all catch-and-shoot three-point attempts, good for 93rd percentile in the NCAA. Let's take a look at Cassius Stanley in the catch-and-shoot.
He's on pace for the best assist-to-turnover ratio in Duke history. Jones, and this is now the 7th different lineup to start a game in the first 11.
NC State, Trey Jones has emerged as perhaps the favorite for ACC Player of the Year. And the junior guy getting 16 points.
And it's cleared by Carey. Nice outlet to Jones. Results in a corner three. Cassius.
That won a national championship. You go back to 2010 when Nolan Smith and John Shire, his 2 assists.
Stanley, that's a 3.
In the back there. Unfortunately, that wasn't called.
Duke off to a slow start offensively. Hurt with a nice look to Stanley, who buries a corner.
Well, the pass was too late. And Jack White read it beautifully to take it away. That should have been a bucket for Kansas. Instead,
2:20 to play. Stanley, you betcha!
Robinson with 13 points, 5 rebounds, 3 boards.
And then we get to the fit with the Philadelphia 76ers. The fit in Philadelphia relies upon the team surrounding Stanley with ball handlers. An immediate alternative would be to deploy him in a defense-oriented lineup that can generate the chaos Stanley thrives in. One clear option is a group led by Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle. Last season, the duo combined for 7.5 steals per 36 minutes, 9th among all duos with over 700 minutes. This type of combustible energy would fit Stanley perfectly, especially if paired with another possible disruptor in Zaire Smith. A core lineup of Simmons, Thybulle, Stanley, and Smith could be a nightmare for teams, a group capable of blitzing offenses and generating immediate offense on the other end. Stanley also provides alternatives within the scope of a more conventional NBA lineup. His movement skills would enable Embiid as a passer off the block, and his ability to hit from the corner is an ideal outlet for a driving Ben Simmons. Last season, only 18% of Philadelphia's threes came from the corner, 24th among all NBA teams. The Sixers could follow the offensive footprint of teams like the Lakers or the Houston Rockets. The two organizations utilized the corner three by leveraging the supreme ball handling skills of LeBron James and James Harden. Last season, both Houston and LA attempted 23% of their threes from the corner, a significant shift from how the Sixers operate offensively. With Stanley in the fold, Philadelphia would have the option to utilize one of the most valuable areas of the court. Let's talk about final thoughts. Cassius Stanley enters the draft process as a classic boomer bust prospect. The risk-reward benefit is immense, but it will likely scare teams from taking the leap. Contending teams rarely take a gamble on these type of players, unless they are the Toronto Raptors, who have proven time and time again that the gamble is sometimes worth it. For a team like Philadelphia, Stanley provides great value at the top of the second round. A player with glaring developmental work ahead, he has the potential to develop into a lethal combo guard. Patience may just be on the side of the Sixers, who may be looking to reshape the roster around younger players that are better fits for his all-star core. If that is the case, Cassius Stanley should be very high on the team's priority list, adding much-needed talent into its pipeline. What are your thoughts on Cassius Stanley? Please let us know in that comment section below. Make sure you give a follow to my man Tiago on Twitter. He is @TScabia. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.